Hello, Recapped Mystery here. Today, I'm going to explain an American science fiction action film called Surrogates. Watch out and take care. The discipline of robotic science has advanced significantly in a futuristic world. The surrogate is an artificial living form created by humanity. Surrogates are lifelike robots that are linked to people's brains. They are linked to the brains via a gadget with over 100 sensors. When a person sits in a chair-like gadget, those sensors attach to various portions of the human brain. Whatever the human thinks of is carried out by the surrogate. It is described by officials as managing your second body through your brain. Lionel Cantor, the surrogate's creator, created it to enable impaired individuals live normal lives. However, it is only 3 years later that it is utilized in wars to boost the military. As more devices are manufactured, they become affordable to the general people. This incident alters the path of human history. People start utilizing surrogates to leave their houses and eventually become completely reliant on them. Because of the surrogate, you can go out without physically leaving the house, reducing the danger of accidents, robberies, and infections. Furthermore, you can look as you like without having to undergo plastic surgery or workout. The surrogate will function as the new you, interacting with the people in your life while you control it from home. Only 7 years after the development, the leading surrogate firm, VSI, issued a statement claiming that 98% of the world's population now uses surrogates in various facets of their lives. Humans live in near total isolation, rarely venturing outside of their homes. Their surrogates engage with the surrogates of others, as has become the way of the day. Because of the usage of surrogates, violent crimes, contagious diseases, and discrimination have all reached all-time lows. This technology, however, does not appeal to everyone. A small group of people feel that humans are not meant to survive through machines. They have formed surrogate-free zones around the United States and are led by a guy known as the Prophet. It has been 14 years since the invention of surrogates. A young man is walking to a club. On the phone, he tells his father that he is about to go to the opera. He jumps from a balcony at the club but lands safely, implying that the man is a surrogate. While dancing, he meets a girl and brings her out. As the two make out, a man on a motorbike uses a device to kill them. When the paramedics and police come, they discover that the male surrogate's memory chip is entirely destroyed, and they are unable to locate his registered owner. The girl surrogate, on the other hand, is registered as Cameron McAllister. Tom Greer and Jennifer Peters, two FBI agents, discover Cameron's address and pay her a visit. When they arrive at the residence, they discover that Cameron is a middle-aged man who was slain while sitting on his surrogate linking device. The cops are taken aback because this is the first murder in years. The scene shifts to a moving tube. Tom is driving home from work, and we notice that everyone around him is a surrogate. When he gets home, he brings water for the actual him, who looks very different. The real Tom has been living his life through his attractive and youthful surrogate. After assigning the surrogate to his station, Tom walks out of his room to see his wife, Maggie, but is met by Maggie's surrogate. Tom hasn't seen his wife in a long time and only communicates with her surrogate. Tom offers they go on a vacation somewhere, but Maggie prefers to send her surrogate on vacation and live life via her. Somewhere else, young teenagers discover the body of their friend Jared Cantor in his dorm room, still seated in his STEM chair. The detectives at the FBI office are debating the case. They believe that whatever technology was used to kill the surrogates also killed their owners. Until then, such a circumstance was thought to be impossible because owners are not supposed to feel what surrogates feel. They discover that Jared is the son of surrogate inventor Dr. Lionel Cantor. Tom and Jennifer schedule a meeting with Dr. Cantor and his surrogate. They discover that Cantor has been utilizing multiple surrogates at the same time, which is prohibited. However, because he is the creator, the investigators disregard it. When Jared was assassinated, he was utilizing one of Cantor's surrogates. This leads the detectives to conclude that the killer was after Cantor rather than Jared. They then proceed to the headquarters of the largest surrogate production business, VSI, to investigate, but the CEO rejects them. claiming that the surrogates are completely safe for their owners. They discover the image of the individual who murdered Jared thanks to the camera video inserted in his surrogate at the time of his death. They travel to Bobby Saunders, a co-worker who is an administrator of the FBI computer system. He believes Jared's assailant's name is Miles Strickland. Bobby also has access to every surrogate in the United States and may turn them off at any time. After locating Miles, Tom and a co-worker pursue him on a helicopter. However, just as they are ready to apprehend him, Miles flashes the weapon at all of the detectives, killing both the surrogates and the operator. He also causes harm to the real Tom and murders his friend. Their helicopter crashes in a restricted zone teeming with anti-surrogates. The anti-surrogates kill Tom's surrogate before he can find the killer. Because of the weapon, the actual Tom gets injured. He comes out of his room and collapses. Then we see Miles meet the Prophet, the leader of the anti-surrogates, who asks him what he told Tom. Miles swears that he did not divulge any information, but the Prophet nonetheless murders him. Tom awakens in the hospital, where he learns that he has been suspended for a week for landing in a restricted area. He is determined to solve the crime, so he goes outside for the first time in years without the surrogate. He then returns to the restricted area to meet Miles, but instead finds his body being incinerated. Tom inquires about the weapon Miles used before, but the Prophet maintains he has never seen one. When the Prophet's men discover he is a cop, they beat him. When a young man offers Tom a ride home, he escapes the restricted area. The man turns out to be Cantor's surrogate. He inquires about Jared's murder case. Cantor tells Tom to concentrate on the weapon and its origin. When an injured Tom returns home, he notices Maggie and her young companions in the living room. Maggie becomes agitated when she sees him, but he does not approach her. Tom later catches her chatting to a man and beats him, but because the man is a surrogate, it doesn't upset him. In the next scene, we watch a man break into Jennifer's house and murder her. He then seizes control of her surrogate. The next day, Tom pays a visit to the military commander and inquires about the weapon. The general informs him that the weapon is known as a overload device. It was created as a war weapon in order to infect the surrogates with a software infection. However, the officials were unaware that the infection would also harm the operators. After they figured it out, the weapon's production was halted. The weapon was manufactured by VSI, and every unit was destroyed. However, one weapon was omitted. In exchange for the information, Tom informs them that the weapon is in the restricted region. The Prophet then hands the weapon to his men, who bring it to Jennifer's surrogate. Tom then visits Maggie's workplace and asks if she misses their son. The two had lost their kid in a vehicle accident, and Maggie had not been able to recover since. We see her true self, who is ancient and wrinkled, the polar opposite of her surrogate. She and Tom are still in mourning over the death of their kid. Somewhere else, the military attacks the Prophet and his troops in order to reclaim the weapon. However, when they shoot the Prophet, the anti-surrogate leader, they discover that he is also a surrogate. Dr. Cantor is on his computer, watching the person in front of the Prophet. We learn that Cantor posed as the Prophet in order to prevent the usage of his own invention. Tom meets Jennifer's surrogate, who is now under Cantor's control. She informs Tom that VSI and their boss, Andy Stone, murdered Cantor's son. They had deduced that Cantor was attempting to prohibit the use of surrogates, which would result in a massive loss for VSI. As a result, they and Stone planned to kill Cantor with the weapon. However, they accidentally killed his son. Carter couldn't handle the prospect of his son dying, so he set out to kill everyone via surrogates. He does, however, require the weapon and a code to make it work. Jennifer already possesses the weapon. She informs Tom that Stone was engaged in the murder of Jared and requests that he deliver Stone's computer file to her as evidence. Tom approaches Stone and knocks him out. He then runs out, having downloaded everything from Stone's computer. Now that Jennifer has the weapon and the code, she must travel to Bobby to infect every surrogate in the world using the weapon. Tom realizes Jennifer's surrogate has been replaced, but they are involved in an accident. Jennifer hurries to Bobby, while Tom goes straight to the source of the problem, Cantor. Jennifer keeps Bobby at gunpoint while instilling the virus in his system. Everyone who has a surrogate will die in a matter of minutes. Just then, Tom arrives at Cantor's estate and inquires as to why he is doing all of this. Cantor responds that he created surrogates to assist handicapped individuals, not to make everyone dependent on them. Now that his kid has died, he does not want his son's death to be in vain and want to put an end to the surrogate addiction. Cantor takes a tablet and kills himself after explaining his reasoning. Tom steps in as Jennifer's surrogate and asks Bobby how he can prevent the infection from spreading. Bobby swiftly tells him the codes, and the two save the surrogate's operator. Tom must now click a yes button to save all of the surrogates. He pauses when Bobby informs him that they just have a few seconds left. He eventually hits the no button, which disables all surrogates in the world. Hundreds of surrogates have stopped working in the street. Their owners will soon emerge from their houses for the first time in years. Tom rushes back to his house, only to discover that the actual Maggie is not in her room. He discovers her in their son's bedroom, and the film concludes with the two hugging. Thanks for watching. To assist the channel, turn on notification and leave a like. See you again soon.